Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for the Brooklyn Tea Party meeting on the November 24th, 2024 meeting. So we are here and we are celebrating the victory of Donald J. Trump as our 47th president. He's our Grover Cleveland of our time. If anyone don't know the history of the United States, Grover Cleveland was our 22nd and 24th president of the United States. He was also elected in non-consecutive terms. Back then, the president would, it was a foregone rule because of George Washington. He only did 2 terms, so everyone just traditionally did a 2-term if they wanted to go beyond their first term. FDR screwed that up. He decided to run for 4 times. So he started his 4th term in 1945. Back then they would start on March 4th, 1945 for him, and March 4th he croaked sometime in April. So he only had a month into his 4th term. After that, they changed the Constitution, I believe, or the amendment or whatever, and president can't run more than 2 times. So we have our
49.
Right. So we have in 49 they changed it. So we now have Donald Trump in a historic victory, because this is the biggest political comeback in political history throughout the world, I think. When you think about the things that were thrown in at him. You had someone that was dragged through the mud from day 1 of his administration, automatically, oh, let's impeach him, let's impeach him. He didn't even take office. It started way back before that, when Obama and friends, sounds like a kid's show, a horrible kid's show, but Obama and friends, they spied on his campaign. If you remember at Trump Tower, they were easy, little wire taps on him, because he was a Russian asset. Ooh, Vladimir and the friends. Bull crap. Just like the hoax, the Russian hoax, and all these hoaxes that we see, it's all lies. Fake news for a reason. Now, day 1 he took office, let's impeach, let's impeach. So eventually they impeached him twice. One time was when he left office already. They wanted to make sure his corpse wasn't moving, but they didn't know one thing. He's our Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees of our time. Because just when you think you killed him off, he is back in the next movie. And he keeps coming back. So what did he try to do? They try to throw this guy in jail. They try to bankrupt him. They try to assassinate him. Then when they failed on that, they try to do it again. Don't think these fools are not done yet. He has to take office, but then he has to be protected for those 4 years. That is why it's essential to have someone in charge of the Secret Service and the FBI that is not part of the deep state, that is not part of the swamp. So we got to make sure of that. Well, what could we do? It's up to him, basically, for the nominee. But we already know that we still have the swamp out there, and that includes the Republicans, too. Because what they've tried to do, they're going to try to put things against them. Now, we want to, get rid of the Department of Education, but that takes 60 votes. That takes 60 senators. We have 53. We're not getting that. I don't know how they're going to do it in a different way. I'm sure they'll be creative in a way of just not funding it somehow. So they'll make it useless. But you don't really think 7 Democrats are coming along with us, do you? No. So we shall see what that is installed, but we will reduce the waste in government. It's essential. So we have Vivek and Elon, who could land a rocket in your parking space and parallel park it. So we have that. So hopefully they could, they're thinking they could maybe cut $2 trillion. Hey, a start in this over-bloated $36 trillion deficit that we are in. This is disgusting where we become. We also spend like drunken sailors too, the Republicans. So we gotta be fiscally sound because, I mean, look, at the end of the day, our monetary system's backed by nothing. We're not backed by the gold standard. We're like Bitcoin. How the hell is it at $100,000 almost? I wish I got in at $438 in 2016. We'd all be rich, and, you know, we would should have more than pizza. But at the end of the day, we are at the brink of World War III. It is a scary time. That senile guy that we call president, who was at the G7 summit, who was in Peru to peruse the rainforest. Okay, thank you. And he waltzes off into the forest. I don't know if they found him yet. But I think they did, because when the reporter was screaming at him, Mr. President, I want to wish you a happy early birthday. Mr. President, would you speak to the press as a gift? Mr. President, you haven't talked to us at any time on this trip. And he's going up the stairs now without tripping, so God bless him on that. He's improved on that. So, Mr. President, so this psycho reporter was, well, you know, screaming because finally the frustrations, and plus it's probably the anger of, you guys lost this for us. Now we have Satan in charge. Satan my ass. They're the satanic people. They're the ones that love abortion, right? I don't care what everyone, oh, my rights, okay, fine. Everyone has an issue with that particular thing, but at the end of the day, 65 million or so aborted fetuses. It has to be rare at all. Rare. Not, hey, you got pregnant, let's just pop it out. Wrong. Sorry. It's to the states now. So, whatever the states decide, so be it. The elected officials are accountable for that type of legislation now. So now it's not judges. So we have to worry about one thing, and one thing only, because the biggest abortion of all is World War III. That idiot approved after 2.5 years of holding off on his way out. Okay, you could use those missiles that we have, that you need our guidance and all that, to go deeper into Russia so we could escalate this war on my way out. Why not? I'm 82 years old. I have nothing else left to live for. At least I won't be convicted if I'm, you know, burnt to a cinder, and I won't remember that anyway. So on his way out, he's approved that. Now what has happened as a result of that? Let's hope it doesn't escalate. But let's just say at this time period that we're living in, we're at that moment where it could be. Because at the end of the day, England is now somehow involved, and they've mentioned with the ambassadors.
Look at the new missile that Russia launched.
Right, that new missile, that weird missile looked like some nails coming down from the sky, like whoosh, whoosh. Right. So
5 times the speed of
right, nothing that we have at the moment can stop that. That we know of. Right, that we know about. So aliens, if you're listening. I thought we had your technology by now, Roswell and all that. What about all those probings we've done? But anyway, so at the end of the day here, we have to be concerned of what is coming. Let us hope we don't have our Rubble moment. I don't mean Barney Rubble. I mean our Rubble moment, and that Rubble moment is this. Hey, look, Timmy from across the street. How's everything? I'm doing fine. As he's crawling out of his basement of rubble. As you meet him out of your basement of rubble. The last time the United States had a rubble moment was the Civil War, right? South, a lot of those owned blue, right? They were crawling out of their homes if they lived. That's the last rubble moment we had. Throughout the 20th century, everyone had a tag your it moment sometime period, some regions of the world mostly. I guess Canada was okay. But, you know, at the end of the day, Europe, right? World War I, World War II. Africa, a lot of those turmoils there. South America, the South American dictators, those turmoils there. Asia, you know, Vietnam, and all that. Everyone had their rubble moment where they crawled out of rubble out of their homes. Is it our time again? Let's hope not. It's a scary time. That is why you got to enjoy each and every day. Enjoy the holidays before. Who knows? Because we had incompetent leaders. We had the military-industrial complex that wants to constantly have wars so they can make money. Now, I don't understand how you make money if you're dead. But hopefully everyone knows a nuclear war, no one wins. So if it's going to be a war, it's going to be maybe not a nuclear war. It's still going to be very deadly. It's still going to be very disgusting. We already have North Korea in Ukraine. I hear Iranians are there too, is that right? A little some Iranians?
Sending missiles, they're sending them.
Right, they want a participation trophy. And don't think China is not waiting for the chomp for Taiwan. We have a treaty with Taiwan and we have to get involved. World War III very easily could happen. A couple months ago, China and Russia are playing little military exercises. They're playing little off of Alaska. It was the first time they did that jointly in that type of vein. Of course, that could be scare tactics. But thank God we have Donald Trump as president. Now, he don't take office until January 20th. That doesn't mean something can't happen. We are in a moment of prayer that we all need to do. We have to make sure whatever we could do, and the only thing we could do right now is pray. Because what could we do? We're going to get our tanks ready? We don't have tanks. We're just citizens. And we have to pray for our leaders, even this senile freak, that he doesn't do anything else that pushes the lever closer to war. Because at this point in time, you have your grandchildren, you have your children, you have you, and where we don't want to live in that type of a world where we're dead, dying,
That makes sense.
living, where's my water? We've been insulated, like I said, for many years. Left-wing ideology. Left-wing ideology, I've said this before, has killed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of people since the 20th century. When you go back to Stalin and friends and whatever, Mao, the Cultural Revolution, how many millions of people? Like I said, the Soviet Union, how many millions of people did they kill of their own? Hitler, how many hundreds or so million people did he kill? The Vietnam War, how many millions? Pol Pot and friends, Khmer Rouge, how many millions? The killing fields. All left-wing ideology. South America with all those South American little dictatorships. All left-wing socialists, communists. Hitler. Donald Trump is Hitler. Since when is Hitler a conservative or a Republican right-wing leaning? Since when? Well, yeah, Hitler was, his party was what? The Democrat Socialist Party. It's socialism, it's communism. It looks great on a blackboard. Everyone's equal together. Bull crap. No freedom of speech. Right now it'd be rounded up in a camp, re-education, and then killed off. That's what communists do. And we've seen that during this election. So they use lawfare to go after our president and other people, the J6s, okay? But they did an insurrection. They took over the Capitol. Oh, please, Mr. D'Agostino, don't move closer to me. Think about it. They opened the damn doors. It's on film. Come on in. Please stay behind the velvet rope. But they broke windows. You don't think for a moment, people, I have a bridge to sell you, that the FBI and CIA was, and Antifa and friends were in that damn crowd and breaking. We have it on film with whatever that guy's name is, at least one of them that we could think about. Where he said, all right, there you go, Reyes. Come on, tomorrow, make sure we go into the... And they said, Fed, of course. And he got rounded up too, remember? I don't think
We
so.
had to do it for sure.
Yeah, okay. It took him 400 years. He's okay, trust me. What we saw there was a psyops, okay? Because remember the statues in Statuary Hall in the Rotunda? Remember when we broke all of them? I don't, because it never happened We didn't touch nothing there. Oh, someone's foot was on a desk. But what about the guy with the Rams horn? He was their leader. He was, remember the guy with the weird helmet? And then film came out with two officers walking with him in different rooms. Would you like to go here next? Okay, well, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for everything. Wow, he's the ringleader of that one. Are you kidding me? Please, people, wake up. We did. That's why we got Trump back in. But truthfully, insurrection, Nancy Pelosi, we should have done it. Trump, the biggest, worst insurrection on earth. Hey, I would like 10,000 National Guard to be there to protect the protesters that day, a couple days prior. Now, Mayor of D.C., no, Nancy Pelosi, who was the head of the security because she was the Speaker of the House, said, no, that's okay. You're going to ruin our plans, right? So Kamala Harris, I guess that day when she was hiding, she really called Joe, and really that's when that film clip came out. We did it, Joe. We did it. Remember that little film clip? That's probably what they really meant. We did it. We got him. He can't run for re-election because he's going to be an insurrection. We all saw through that. So here we are. Here we are. Let's just take a moment of silence and pray for this country, pray for our soldiers, and pray for all those who are going through turmoil during this holiday season. Thank you. With that being said, we are here to celebrate. We are here to celebrate Donald Trump getting elected. And we're going to have a happy Thanksgiving, a lot of us, right, at the table. Some might not be seeing their liberal, and that's on their choice, because truthfully, I have nieces that are liberal and all that, and I'm going to my other brother's house to Thanksgiving, and truthfully, at the end of the day, they have the right to believe what they want to believe in. We wish, look, think about it. Ronald Reagan was a Democrat. Trump was a Democrat. A lot of people see the light eventually, hopefully. So never discount them. Hope for the best that maybe they'll see the light one day. Don't shun them. Just speak to them cordially and civilly, because at the end of the day, they're your family. So don't throw people away, but they also have to know that too. And a lot of people, we've seen that becoming a thing that the left has been talking about. Oh, don't invite conservative. Why? We went through a bad time 4 years ago, right? You try to throw a guy in jail and try to whatever, and we had Thanksgiving, I think, back then too. So at the end of the day, we can't shun your family. You could talk to them, you could disagree, of course it doesn't mean you have to agree with them, but talk to them civilly. They're your family. We can't be divided as a nation anymore. We have to be one. And Donald Trump will be president for all, because you know what? America first means everyone, means Democrat, Republican, everyone. Means we come first. Bring back manufacturing, because we can't make a damn thing in this country. And if we go to war, what are we manufacturing for the war effort? We don't have plants or anything. We have to rely on certain material. Oh, let's have an electric vehicle. Really? Where are you getting the rare earth minerals from? Okay, with the lithium-ion batteries. They come from China, mostly. Okay? We cannot be reliant on the other people from the other countries. We have to be self-sufficient also when it comes time for war and all that. We are about to approach America's 250th birthday in 2026, and it will be a great celebration if we don't have a war. It'll be like our bicentennial. I was only a year or so when that happened. I don't really remember anything. But I watch YouTube and see this commercials and all the lead-ups and whatnot. It seemed like a fun time, patriotic time. Everyone had light switches that had the little brass. I still have one in my house. And you know, just, it was a fun time. So I know Donald Trump will do it good.